Welcome to Multiplicity Crafts. This is Miranda, and I want to also welcome you to Janie's 10,000 Thank You Celebration Hop put on by Janie, the Craft Princess, here on YouTube. So, let's get this party started. So Janie has asked some of her crafty friends to be part of this celebration video hop, and I happen to be one of them. She also has 10 wonderful sponsors that have been part of her crafting journey, and they have donated a total of over $450 in prizes. Here are a list of those generous sponsors. So I'm going to go ahead and begin working on my project, and while I'm working on it, I will tell you a little bit more about this giveaway hop. So all I've done so far is use my Distress ink and went ahead and made the sky, and then I have that masked off with a piece of blue painter's tape just to keep my line nice and straight on my horizon. And you can see there I have a little Gorgeous Girl doll stamped right underneath there. And I'm sorry, I don't know why I did not even record this part, or I did, but it didn't record somehow. So I'll just go ahead and start here and show you. So I'm just doing some ink blending around the Gorgeous Girl doll to create the sky and the grass, and we'll just go from there. Janie happens to love Gorgeous Girl stamps, and so I thought this would be appropriate for a card to make for her 10,000 subscriber celebration. To find out more about what the prizes are and how to be entered to win one of them, you'll have to hop along to each video and see the 10 participating channels. They are each giving away one of the prizes and will tell you what you have to do to be entered to win. It could be a gift certificate or a prize package, so be sure to visit all the channels. Let me tell you about the prize I'm giving away here on my channel and what you need to do to be entered to win it. First and foremost, you must be 18 years of age or older to enter the giveaway. And my giveaway is for a $50, that's right, $50 gift certificate to createforless.com. This giveaway is open for the US as well as Canada, New Zealand, and Australia. So if you are a resident of the US, Canada, New Zealand, or Australia, feel free to enter. The way that you will enter is below on my Rafflecopter link listed for you. Be sure to leave me a comment as well. So now let's get back to the coloring, and I will show you what I'm doing here. I'm basically coloring everything in with that EO2, which is the skin tone, and then I'm going in with my E57 to add some dark shadowing, and then I will follow up with my E59 to add even more darker shadows in her hair. Now it seems kind of funny to color her hair all that skin tone color, but trust me, once we add all of the darker browns in and go back over it, it'll look perfect, and the shine on her hair will look really natural. So I'm just adding the darkest shade, and the way that I decide where to add the darkest shades is basically where any part of her hair would be in a shadow, like, behind her face or behind her shoulders, behind the bow, as well as like if it's gathered. So if her hair is gathered like at the bottom, or there by her bangs like in the front, or even under the bow. And there's not really a science to it, because you can do all sorts of things with the colors and not even have to have any thought of where to put your shadows, and it will still look fine. But I think if you just follow this method, it really gives your coloring a more natural look. And then when I'm finished coloring, I just go back over it with that same skin tone color and blend in all of the browns, and that way it gives her hair a nice shine. I'm going in with the R27, which is just a basic red, and I'm coloring in her bow. And I'm going to also use this on her little stockings and her heart necklace. And so I'm just doing basic coloring with this. I'm not really adding any darker red or browns or anything to make that look darker. I'm just doing a straight basic red. And then I'm going to go in with my blue violet shades, and I'm going to start with the lightest shade and just color in all of her dress. And so I'm starting with the lightest shade, and then I'm just taking the darkest shade, and where the illustrator has already put in the dark lines, I'm just going back over those with my marker, and that takes the guesswork out of it. And then I'm going in with my mid-range color and kind of blending in those darker lines so that way they're not so harsh and they don't stand out so much. And then I'm leaving a little bit of a highlight on the center of her dress. Once it dries, it'll show up a little better, but not a whole lot of detailed shading there. So now I'm going in with the green shades, a BG shade and a YG shade. And these are going to give my grass a little bit of roughage, if you will, to kind of give it some texture. Now, I did have my grass just made with the Distress inks that I blended to give me a nice smooth looking lawn, and I probably should have kept it that way in hindsight. But I think I can add a little bit of extra to the grass with these markers, and so I'm going to go ahead and just follow through with it, even though I'm kind of like, oh, I should have left well enough alone. But you never know till you try, right? So I'm going to add a sunshine behind the little girl there on my card. And so I colored that in with Copics, and I'm also going back over that with my yellow Distress ink. And like I say, I'm going to be doing a special effect where I just splash water onto the card, and it'll give me kind of a distressy look, I guess you could say. And so I think it'll look really cute once it's done. And the sun came with the two elements, but I decided just to leave the circle in the middle and not do the outer element. So you'll see that sitting off to the side there, but I decided not to add that. It just seemed to, I don't know, it was a little bit too much. So I just added the circle. And once I have that exactly where I want it, I'm going to glue it into place and cut the excess off of the edge. It's kind of nice to have the sun off to the side because you can see it better, but also it doesn't take away from the little girl in the center. And I don't know, I could have probably added the sun behind her, but then I was thinking, well, my shading, I don't know, I think I was overthinking it. So anyway, I think it turned out good off to the side. And when I put the sunshine on, I noticed that her little sprig of hair was behind the sunshine, and that just didn't bode well with me. It was just a tiny little sprig of hair, but I had to fix it. So I just colored it in just a basic brown, and I'm just fussy cutting it, and I'm going to glue it on top, and that way she won't look like part of her hair is behind the sunshine. You probably would never know, but it was just something that I wanted to make right, so I just glued that on with a little bit of liquid glue. And here I'm just splashing the water on. You can do this with like a toothbrush or with a paintbrush, but I'm using my fingers because I wanted big splashes of water, and I want that to react with the Distress ink. And the gorgeous girl, she'll be just fine because she's done in alcohol ink, and that will not react to the water. Only the Distress ink will. So I'm just splashing that all over, and then I'm going to take a paper towel and just very gently dab up the excess water. And then you'll see it leaves a little splotchy effect, which I think is kind of cool looking. I like the way that turned out. I'm going to use a Jelly Bean Soup stamp set that says thanks, and since this theme of this hop is for Janie's 10,000 subscribers where she's thanking everybody, I thought that would be the perfect stamp. I've die cut some little tiny clouds, and I'm adding those to the sides just to balance out the card, and I'm cutting away the excess. So once I finished, I glued this onto a card base, and I decided that I wanted to add a little bit of something more to the grass. I didn't really like the horizon line, And so I added some fringe of grass and it gave it a nice little dimensional look. So here you can see the finished photos of how the card turned out. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial and let me know in the comments below where you're from and where you found my channel. And also be sure to enter my giveaway through the Rafflecopter link. Be sure to hop to the next person in the hop. Thank you so much for watching.